Here are 7 things that I think as a doctor we are missing in the medical system when anyone gets diagnosed with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, autoimmune disease, cancer, diabetes. The list goes on and on and on. And these should be the first things we're talking about instead of the last things or the things that are looked at as voodoo. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all. At 4:30 this morning, sometimes you're in that sleep, like you're half awake, half asleep, but sometimes you get your best ideas then. Well, obviously in a podcast, like I have so much I want to talk to you all about. It's just, that's why I keep coming back week after week. From deep stuff to fun things, to serious things, to call you out, to be your support, to be your friend. I'm here for you. But sometimes I get so overwhelmed. I'm like, what should I talk about today? And at 4:30 this morning, that's just like popped up like, okay, this must be what everyone needs to hear this week. So I'm really excited to jump in and talk about it. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen thousands of patients. I'm one of those people who I love being a nerd and like staying up on the research, talking about different options. And it's so true. There's no cookie cutter thing. Like what doctors learn in medical school, like, yes, of course it's important and it's a good basis, but medicine changes. We learn new things and we need to stay up with that. And then also, there are things that you see with your own patients in your own office and different little pieces of information or techniques or just sometimes like that you put together that work. And you're like, all right, but what works for you may not work for me, may not work for the next person, correct? So that's why I'm never bored. It's like a constant puzzle to put together and it's fun. And just realizing we're all human, we're all different. We've all had different experiences. But these are 7 key things that if you are getting diagnosed with anything, chronic pain, like I said, cancer, we've seen this in our office, cancer, diabetes, fibromyalgia, the list goes on, any sort of autoimmune thing. I know POTS is pretty high these days. We're seeing more people walk in saying they got that diagnosis, rheumatoid arthritis, insert anything. Your doctor should be talking about these basic things that actually aren't so basic and are kind of hard. Like, I get it when I've been going through my mystery illness on and off that, creeps back, but still burnout, let's be honest. These things I know, but it's not always easy to incorporate them. So, what is number 1? I'm going to get on my soapbox. It is stress. Stress. And I think we all, I've done this, like, we're all, not everyone, but a lot of people are addicted to this busyness. And we've been taught that if you're busy, you're like winning, right? That's so messed up and so backwards, but it has gotten ingrained into us of the harder you work, the more hours you work, the more you do, the more successful you are. And in my case, I get rewarded for that. I get to help more people, which is number 1. And I get this high every time someone gets better of like, oh my God. Also, like most of you, the more you work, the more money you make. So then you have bills and then blah, 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 blah. The snowball, snowball, snowball. So none of us want to acknowledge that little piece of, okay, yeah, you can do that for so long, but at what cost? What is that going to cost you in your body? So we have our everyday stress. And then adding on to that, are you doing HIIT workouts all day? Come on. Is that a 7-day a week thing for you? Is that a 4-day a week thing for you? And are you gaining weight still? Your cortisol levels are probably through the roof. And then I bet on top of it, you're intermittent fasting because I've been there. I've done all this. I know I can call you out. And depending where you're at in your life and what's going on, that may work. But if you've been doing this, like I did it for years, and I was even doing 2-a-day workouts because like that was another dopamine endorphin hit of, okay, I can work, then I can double work out. Oh my God, I'm getting so much done. I'm accomplishing so much. The checklist, the checklist, the checklist. Like, look how much I've done. Hello. And that's just so backwards. So we have the stress of normal life, of work, of your kids, of your partner, of yourself. Hello, we can all drive ourselves nuts. And then you have the workout stress, and then the stress of trauma. Like, we've all gone through stuff. And even when we're growing up, your brain is not fully developed till you're around 25 years old. So how you interpret things may have an imprint on your brain. And it could be like in the last episode where we got into sexual trauma, trigger warning, great episode. It was a client that came on and shared their story and was so open and vulnerable, and I really appreciate it. And I think it would be a great listen, but just warning, like, you trigger warning. But there's that, and there's even like verbal abuse, all the things. Your issues get stored in your tissues. As I need tissues for my running nose every time I do a podcast. I get so excited, I guess. But your issues are stored in your tissues, and it's going to come out in some way at some point. I see a lot of like gut issues, like IBS. You hear of, just random stomach pains, or God, I just never feel comfortable. I can never go to the bathroom and poop, or chronic UTIs, like pelvic floor, all this stuff, whoop, 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 goes together, right? That is a stress. And that is your body talking to you, telling you, hey, pay attention. Like, we got to deal with that. And there have been studies coming out that has shown this chronic stress can lead to some of these things. There's a correlation of that. Like, your body can do it for a certain amount of time. It can run from the bear. It can be in that sympathetic state. But after that, like, it's going to get run down if you are not restoring it. So I don't care how silly it sounds, but if you are dealing with even just an injury, like, that's stressful mentally, right? Like, oh my God, I can't do what I want to do. I can't lift my dog into the car. I can't lift my kids. I can't go do my workout and my run to keep my sanity. Hello. That's stressful. And it's okay. Like, that's a problem. We need to talk about it. And how are we going to cope or manage in the meantime as you're healing this? So that's number one, stress and all the different little branches from it. Then we have food. And I feel like everyone's like, well, yeah, I know I'm supposed to eat healthy. But I think everyone has a different definition of healthy. Like, we have the old food pyramid where they talked about how margarine was good for you and eggs are bad for you. Hello. That's terrible advice. And we have learned since then that is not true. But like, my parents' generation, they still, like, it was so ingrained, they still are worried about that because that was what is preached. I feel like now what's preached is keto, keto, keto. Fasting, which I'm not against any of these for certain things or a certain amount of times. But what everyone needs to be eating is like an anti-inflammatory diet. And I say that all the time, and I hear it all the time. And people don't know what that is. Like, hello, it's okay. Sometimes I'm like, what is that? But what does this look like? And for your specific condition, what does this look like? So in general, anti-inflammatory, you need to be eating meat and vegetables, and you can have some fruit. Protein, you hear that all over now. Protein, muscle mass. It's so true. And that's what's going to help your metabolism. That's what's going to help as you age. So therefore, it's going to help your joint pain. So many delicious, good things. But what should be on your plate every day? You should wake up, and before you have coffee, 30 to 60 minutes after waking up, you should have some sort of protein. I don't care if you just have some sausage or bacon, or bacon and eggs, or just eggs. Like, a little trick, because I'm going all the time. I hardboil some eggs, and then I, can real quick pop some in my mouth before I have my coffee. And then throughout the day, you should make sure that you have protein and good fats, avocado. You should be cooking with like coconut oil, real good olive oil. These are things. And then vegetables, like, your plate should be yummy with vegetables. And listen, y'all know I don't cook if you've been listening for a while. So this is hard. I get it. It's not it's hard. It's easier to just like go grab something. But when you're ordering out, just think, okay, chicken and vegetables, steak and vegetables. That should be your go-to. And I am a big 80-20 person. Like, you got to live your life. You have to live your life. I truly believe that. But I think sometimes we get distracted of what 80-20 is, and we kind of reverse it of, hey, I'm doing it 20% of the time, not 80% of the time. And that's where we get in trouble. That's where we get more inflamed, and more inflammation brings more risk for disease. It makes your body work harder. It brings more pain. Do you see where I'm going with this? So 2 is that we need to be talking about our food and what an anti-inflammatory diet is. 3, are you breathing? Are you breathing into your butthole? I guarantee, unless you've been listening to me for a long time and keep going back to the episodes where I coach you through it, or listening to my Breathe Out Attention series, which we can drop in there, you're not. And even I am guilty of this. I work all day and I get so excited. Like I said, I get that high from helping people. But sometimes I'm like, oh, am I holding my breath? Oh my gosh. It's okay. You're human. But it's like part of it is the awareness. And then just in that moment when I forget to breathe, I'm like, okay, deep belly breath all the way down into my butthole and exhale and relax and do a couple deep nasal breaths and just get back on track. And it slows down the anxiety and the stress. It is one of the easiest, freest, is that a word? And a free tool that we have to help ourselves. We also need to get more oxygen into our blood and into our system, because oxygenated blood and stuff is going to help oxygenate your tissues, which is therefore going to help you heal your tissues. You see where I'm going with this? It's a tenfold effect. And it seems so simple and also so boring. Like some of us are addicted to the hard work, right? Like we like the grind. I see you. Like, and if it's not hard, it's, I don't know, not worth it. But listen to me, this is hard. To breathe correctly is hard, even though it seems so boring. Like, and you deserve it. And it's going to help in so many different ways. Then, so that was number 3, breathing. So far, just to recap: stress, food, breathing, walking. Walking is number 4. Walking is number 4. I mean, in the morning, I have a dog. So it's so funny. Like he craves that exercise and to go on that walk and just that natural light. I mean, we're going no matter what. It's just how quick are we going? And he's ready for it. And also, have you ever watched a dog on a walk? Like they are just so happy and in the moment. So this can relate back to your stress, like going out there and just walking, being in the moment. I like to think of things I'm grateful for. And some people call it an abundance walk, of just breathing, thinking of the things you're grateful for and just trying to be in the moment. And it helps being able to watch him because he's just smiling almost and prancing and then just get so pumped. Oh, I smelled that. Oh, I went to the bathroom. This is so fun. And just being like, okay, take it back, go to the simpler things and enjoy. And some days, y'all, it's only a 6-minute walk. The short block around us is only 6 minutes, and that's all I got time for. But you know what? That's grounding. That's getting outside. That's allowing me to breathe. So you guys don't have, I think we have this misconception in our society that you have to work out at least an hour for it to be effective, or it has to be so hard. You're killing yourself. Nope. And actually, if you're struggling with one of these chronic diseases or pain, you need to back it off a little bit and give your body the space to heal. It doesn't need to be full throttle the whole time. Like you don't need to be pounding on the gas going as fast as it can go. Okay. We need to take care of ourselves. Think of yourself as like a Porsche. You need the highest maintenance, the most expensive gas, like taking care of yourself in that way. Like, oh, okay, let's treat myself like I treat some of these other things that I value, when we should be valuing ourselves the most. Isn't that messed up? That you might treat your car better than yourself. Yeah, I need you to sit with that. But back to walking. And then when I'm super stressed out at the end of the day, sometimes we go on a second one or a third, because walking is powerful. Or I'll try to take some meetings. Like I put my headphones in and just walk outside. Yeah, it's just such an underrated activity that has so many benefits. And like if you're inflamed, like that lymphatic drainage portion of walking is going to help your inflammation. So that is number 4, walking. Number 5, who's your support system? And I am such a big believer, and you need a team to go through some of this stuff with. I don't care whether, I know we all think cancer, which yes, but injuries too, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, autoimmune disease, diabetes. The list goes on and on and on. Like you need a team surrounding you that you can go to get help. That is what's worked phenomenally. I'm not diagnosing cancer in my office or anything, but we had a client come in and they were diagnosed. And I was like, listen, I would love to have conversations with your oncologist, and we are here to help and support you. And like a lot of times you have a lot of pain associated with that, especially if you have to go through surgery or chemo. And then I was like, let's surround you, if you're open to it, with a team. So massage therapist that does lymphatic drainage. There's a chef that she did 2 days a week for anti-inflammatory food delivery. There's different options. You can meal prep. You can have someone help you meal prep. You can, we have online sources of Pinterest to help, stuff like that. And then, okay, who else are you going to talk to? Like, we are all going to be supportive, but sometimes you just want to sit in a room and talk. You need a friend or maybe a support group or therapist. Like, everyone's different, but this is just an example of a team we put together for a patient. And they, to this day, still say they would have not gotten through it without that team. So, yes, of course, your friends and support need a team, but you also, I don't care. Like I said, going back to the car, like, you need to take care of yourself like you take care of the most prized possession you have. And that's going to mean investing in yourself financially and paying for what you think that is. Because, I mean, you also can't put all that stress all over your friends all the time. Of course, some of it, but sometimes, like, even me, like, I like to talk things through, and I'm going to pay someone to hear my crazy and to talk me off a ledge sometimes, and not always go to my friends and my husband, because I know sometimes I just need to talk it out, or someone to call, or a coach, or whatever. So different options. And that's just like in your body feeling good. Like, the fact you're not like, I'm going back to this, taking care, if you're taking care of a prized possession, an item or a thing more than yourself, like, we got a problem here. And yeah, you should invest into it. And if you're in Nashville or virtually, we're here to help, because like, you need to have your body and you deserve to feel good. You only have one life and one body, and that's where your energy should go. Because if you're feeling good, you're going to be able to help others feel good, and you're going to perform better, and you're going to be happier and more in the moment. I mean, once again, we just have this snowball effect of overflowing gas. I mean, not in your butthole, but it could be. But you know what I mean? Okay, we got top tier shelf gas, premium. We're running on premium here, and we're feeling good. So we're able to perform better. We're able to take the curves tighter. We're able to go up the hills faster, whatever it may be. Like, just think about that. If you pour into yourself a little bit, the benefits that you will reap will be 1,000-fold. Okay, so we talked about number 5 was support system and team. Let's do number 6 as correct hydration. Everyone says, I drink a lot of water, or I try to drink a lot of water, which thank you. Thank you. Here's a secret about me that I guess I'll share. I hated water growing up, and I would only drink Gatorade, which now looking back, oh my God, I cringe. Like, I was a competitive dancer. We danced all the time. Like, I was always, I guess, working out. And yeah, and I would drink Gatorade and not even have a sip of water until I was in college, and I was like pre-med major, exercise science. So then I was like, okay, you should probably start drinking some water. So listen, no judgment here. Like, we all have to live and learn a little bit, but now you're learning. You need to hydrate, and correctly, not just the pure water. Like, you need to have electrolytes in it. LMNTs are my favorite, but I like the raspberry citrus, and the citrus is most popular. But you need to be having those electrolytes, because those electrolytes are what hold the water and bring it to your cells to help them. Because sometimes when you're drinking straight water, yes, it's better than nothing, but you're peeing it out and you're not getting the benefits. So there. And then we can even go a step further. Like, let's make sure we're doing some filtered water and not just right out of the tap. But, we can get picky down any rabbit hole. But my message is correct hydration, of getting some electrolytes in there, okay? And number 7, sleep, 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 sleep. This is crucial. This is when your body heals, okay? We need to be able to sleep. And if you're not sleeping, why? Like, is it a nutrient deficiency? Is it the stress? Is it all these things combined? Is it in your body? Just your nervous system is so freaked out, you can't even relax to sleep. We need to get you in a state covering all of those to be able to relax and sleep, okay? People like you running around just bragging about how you only slept for 3 hours and how you can function is such an ew turn off. Like, not cool. That's not cool anymore. We know more than that. That's like olden day stuff. And like, you can sleep when you're dead. Well, that's not funny. And when you're dead, and that sucks. You're going to hurt a lot of people when you die. So let's take care of ourselves and actually sleep and try to get good amount of sleep. There are studies, women need more sleep than men. So we need to be paying attention to that. Women, they're saying, need like 8 to 10 hours for correct hormone function, is a study I read the other day. So I need to dive in that more to get you some better statistics. And I was like, heck yeah, like, I love to sleep. And men need less for their hormone function and whatever, but that's not like 4 hours less. That's like 7 to 8 hours. So figure it out. Figure out how you can get better sleep. But once again, let's review all these things. These are the 7 key things I think the medical system is missing huge in when you're diagnosed with chronic pain, cancer, fibromyalgia, diabetes, chronic migraines, etc. Go down the list, and even healing from postpartum. So we got stress, food, breathing, walking, your support system and team, correct hydration, and sleep. So I will leave you with that. For more of all this good stuff, and at some point I probably will send this out in an email in the pep talk and talk a little bit deeper and tell some more stories. So we'll drop the link to sign up for the pep talk. It's just free. I just slide in your inbox, not your DMs. Although if you message me on Instagram at Dr. Audrey Lance, it's me on there responding. I don't have help to do that. I like doing it. It's like, I'm here to help you. So yeah, so this pep talk, free email, and then you can forward it to friends if it resonates with you, or like a friend, and they can sign up. But it's kind of fun, and like, it's how I get to connect with y'all every week, and I love reading the responses and helping everyone out. So I hope you have the absolute best week, Butthole Breathers. And right now, let's all just take a deep breath in through our nose, out through our nose. And as you inhale, I want you to think of inhaling all the way down into your butthole and exhaling. Go crush it.